I am Karen Blake, and we moved to Winfield in 1984, and my only request when we moved that I have a church that I could walk to. And we lived on a southwestern campus, so it made it real easy to walk to Grace Church, which we did. And I knew almost from the first Sunday that that was my church. It was very welcoming. And although we only lived here 4 years at that time, and we're gone 16 years, it was still my church, and I would come back. And when we retired in 2011, we're now here permanently. So Grace Church is our church.
What is your favorite event or activity that Grace has offered over this past year?
Well, I chose the Thursday Grab and Go. I have always felt that part of Grace's church has always been to feed the hungry and the local people, and that's really what Grace Church is to the community, that we are the ones who help feed, and the women that have done that have just stepped up beautifully, and I just am so proud of that part of our church.
As a pledge giver, why have you decided to offer of your resources to Grace?
Well, as a couple, we spend a lot of money, and when we spend money, sometimes it's for what we need, sometimes it's for what we want, and then we also give money, and giving money and sharing our resources to the church is so meaningful and so fulfilling compared to spending money that Karen is the ultimate giver in our relationship, and I've learned from her and learned through the time that when we give to the church, we're part of the healing ministry of the church worldwide. Africa University, United Methodist Committee on Relief, locally. So much of what we do is to heal relationships and possibilities with the present, and so. We share our resources through giving to the church because it's fulfilling and meaningful and a whole lot better than just spending money.
What advice might you have for first-time pledge givers?
Well, I would encourage those who are thinking about being first pledgers to think about what Grace Church Ministry has done for them and what they appreciate about Grace Church. And by making a pledge, that is also allowing other people to also experience the ministry of grace which they have experienced. And it is very fulfilling, and I would just encourage people to think about doing that, not only for themselves, but for others.
When you look to the next year, what is your hope for Grace UMC?
Well, when we look to next year, it has to be in the context of what we've discovered during the pandemic. And so as I look forward to next year, I look forward to ways that we can continue to discover ways that we can connect with each other. Because as we connect with each other, that gives a sense of strength to what individually we can do, and we can do together in a united effort in mission to express and spread God's love. And it's sort of, I just want any way that we can be more connected than we are now, because the church is not anything we do alone. The church is who we are together.
When you think of the metric of grace, what is one word you would use to qualify who Grace UMC is?
Well, welcoming always pops in my mind, and it's always been that everyone's welcome, but also I have to add the word acceptance, because not only are you welcomed in grace, at grace, you are accepted. It doesn't matter who you are now, it doesn't matter who you have been, you're always accepted and welcome, but I think they kind of go together.